Alrighty, crew. For today's lesson, we're going to be doing a language dive. So we will need our bird book, but I'm going to set that to the side first. We're going to do our language dive, and if you remember from last year, we take a sentence from our text, and we are going to break it apart. So our sentence that we are looking at today is, poor Nasserine sat at home all day because girls are forbidden to attend school. Okay, so we're going to break this sentence apart. And can you guys think about why we do that? So sorry, I'm trying to zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Why do we take one sentence from our text to break it apart into chunks? Perfect. If you said that it helps us understand the text better, you are correct. So if we take a look at the sentence, I want you in your brain right now to think, what does the sentence mean? When we see poor Nasserine sat at home all day because girls are forbidden to attend school. What does that mean to you? Great. I want you to hang on to that thought. Okay. So there are some words here that we might not know the meaning of. So I'm going to scoot these up. So the word forbidden and attend. Go ahead and think about what the word forbidden means and what the word attend means. Okay, if you were able to come up with a meaning, let's see if you are correct. If you were not able to come up with a meaning, then let's go over it together. The word forbidden means like you cannot do it, like it's against the law. Attend means like to go to school, to like go somewhere. Some people might attend church, so they might go to church, or they might attend school, okay? So in this sentence, it says, girls are forbidden to attend school. That means that girls were not allowed to attend school. Okay, with our language dive, we're going to take the sentence apart chunk by chunk. So I'm going to scoot these to the side. We're going to look at the first chunk. Our first chunk here says, poor Nasserine. What is this sentence about? Good. So if you said the sentence is about Nasserine, you are correct. I'm also going to underline the sentence in blue. Okay, so Nasserine is our character. What else does this chunk tell us about Nasserine? Awesome. If you said poor, we're talking about poor Nasserine, right? This is an adjective to describe Nasserine. So the word poor tells us that Nasserine is not happy. She's also very unfortunate because she does not have her mom. She doesn't have her dad. So poor means like it's also an expression to describe somebody. It can also mean without money. But in this case, it just means that she's not happy. She's unhappy because the soldiers are not allowing her to go to school. Okay, let's take a look at our second chunk. So our second chunk here says, sat at home all day. We're going to underline this chunk in red. I want you to think about, what does this chunk mean? Sat at home all day. What did Nasserine do? Great. She stayed at home and she did nothing. Can you guys right now at your house, can you guys do nothing right now? Perfect. I see that you guys are doing nothing. So why do you think the author wrote this chunk? Why does she want to tell us that poor Nasreen sat at home all day? Yes, it's so that we can understand Nasreen more. We can understand more of her actions. Exactly. Okay, so now when we combine these two chunks, I'll just put it up and down because it won't fit on my document camera. Okay, why do you guys think I underlined the first chunk in blue and then the second chunk in red? Okay, so we're going to think about this. So think about why the first chunk's in blue and why the second one is in red, and then we'll talk about it in our next lesson. Okay, now let's talk about our third chunk. Our third chunk is because. Oops, let's get this to focus. Okay, because. Maybe I have to move these out of the way. Nope. Okay. The chunk because. Why did she write because at the beginning of the second half of the sentence? So we're going to circle this word. I'm going to circle it with my pencil. Actually, there's not enough space, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so I want you to think about why did she start the second part of her sentence using the word because, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow as well. Let's look at our next chunk. Okay, our next chunk is girls. We're also going to underline this chunk in blue. Who is the second half of the sentence about? Girls. Perfect. Okay, so you did well in figuring out 3 out of the 5 chunks and telling me why there's important. Let's talk about the fifth and the final chunk. So here we have the last chunk. It says, are forbidden to attend school. This chunk we're also going to underline in red. And as I'm underlining it, I want you to tell me, what is this chunk about? What does it tell us? Great. If you said that this chunk tells us more about the girls, the way they are, the way their state, how they cannot get into education, you're correct. So who forbids Nasserine to go to school? And how do you know? Great. If you said the soldiers, then you are correct. The soldiers are the ones who do not want these girls to learn. Okay? Can you show me an X with your arms that shows me that girls in Afghanistan are forbidden to attend school? That means that they cannot attend school. So I just crossed my fingers here. Perfect. Okay, now I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine, especially the girls who are watching this video, imagine if you are not allowed to go to school, how would you feel? Alrighty, so now we have our fourth and fifth chunk. Why did I underline the fourth chunk in blue and then the fifth chunk in red? Just like how I did for the first 2 chunks. So here, poor Nasserine, I underlined in blue. And then the second chunk, sat at home all day, was in red. Okay, so I want you to think about that because we're going to discuss this in our next lesson. Sorry, this is all blurry now. Alrighty, so you guys did well in figuring out what these chunks mean. So now we are going to go into our bird book and we are going to practice using this. So in our bird books, we're going to go to page 14. Okay, so page 14. Alrighty, so here they've combined the chunks 1 and 2. Poor Nasserine sat at home all day because girls are forbidden to go to school. So I want you to think about something that you are forbidden to do, and I want you to draw a picture of it right here. So remember, the word forbidden means you're not allowed to do it. Okay, so go ahead and draw that. I'm going to pause so that I can draw my picture. Okay, crew, so here I drew a picture. I am forbidden to roller skate inside the house. If you want to share yours, go ahead and post yours on Seesaw so that Miss Nasser and Miss Manfroy and I can see it. Alrighty, crew. So now let's go over to page 15. So on page 15, let me scoot this up a little bit. We have our part 2. It says, poor Nasserine sat at home all day. So that's the first part of our sentence. Plus the word because, plus the second part of our sentence, girls are forbidden to attend school. So we want to break the sentences into 2 sentences. When we have the word because, it helps us combine this first sentence and this second sentence. See how there's only 1 period at the end? There's a comma here, and the word because combines them. So now we want to take these 2 sentences and we want to break it into 2. So the first one, what is the effect? And then we want to think about what is the cause. Okay, so I like to do this cause and effect. I like to do the cause first. So the cause is that girls are forbidden to attend school, period. Okay, so because this is the cause, girls are forbidden to attend school. The result from that, the effect is that Nasreen sits at home all day. So here we write poor Nasreen sat at home all day, period. Okay, now we're going to complete the sentence down here. I sat at home all day because, let's see, I sat at home all day because coronavirus shut schools down, period. Okay, so now it says I, and the effect is, so it's I sat at home all day, sat at home all day because coronavirus shut schools down. Oh, alrighty, crew. So that is the end, and I hope you enjoyed this language dive. Goodbye, crew.